What's up, guys? This is Alex here, aka Fluka, coach of your Hamilton Rycats, and this is my team builder for week 2 against Wyrdfell and the Nottingham Forest Curse. This is going to be our first division match of the year, and I'm the only person in our division to lose last week, which sucks. And it also makes this match very important because if I lose this match, my division is going to become I'm going to fall even further behind, so I need to win this match now. Unfortunately, Word told me that she has some family issues. I'm not going to get into it. That's her business. So hopefully we're going to have the match this week. It may be delayed, so you might be seeing this a little later, but we're going to try and make it work. Anyway, as always, you can see my team on the left, her team on the right. They have the Noivern, Salazzle, Raichu, Mega Gardevoir, Vivillon, Hitmonlee, Suicune, Venusaur, Necrozma, Bisharp, and Tyranitar, arranged in order of speed, as always. And then you can see my team on the left in the order I drafted them. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna lie. When I first looked at this team, before I really started really working on it, I didn't think it was that good actually. I kind of underestimated it, but looking into it, it's a really powerful team that really matches well against mine. The They have some of the only Mons in the league that are faster than my faster Mons. Raikou and Sneasel are both 115, which is a really high base set to hit. But they have Salazzle, which is 115, and then Noivern, which is like 127 or something. I don't know. So some of the few Mons that can actually outspeed me, so I have to watch out for that. They're also both super strong special attackers, which, looking at my team, I don't know if it's that I lack special defensive walls. I might need to make some trades for that, but I think it's just that my special defensive walls don't match up well in this matchup. You know, Latias is super specially defensive. Noivern can really take it out, and Salazzle can get up a Nasty Paw and Dragon Pulse me. Moana, Tapu Fini I can use specially defensive. That can get bodied. Nidoqueen can be a decent specially defensive wall. Can't really touch it. Cofagrigus is more physically defensive. And that's kind of it. Shaman can be made specially defensive, but Salazzle just destroys it. Noivern destroys it, so I can't really go that route. So I really have a bad matchup in my opinion. So I really have to play around those two Mons a lot, and Mega Gardevoir as well. I can't take a lot of Hyper Voices. Um, this is kind of opening my mind about some flaws in my team that I might fix, but we're here now. This is what we have to work with, and we have to make the best of it. I'm also worried about bulky Suicune could be a problem. Necrozma, I'm learning, is a lot more versatile than I've seen. I mean, I haven't played a lot of 7th gen competitive, so most of my Necrozma knowledge is based on watching A-Drive. He's been using it kind of one-dimensionally, but shoutouts to Super, who helped me test this week. Show me some of the more versatility that Necrozma can run, so I'm really worried about that. Hitmonlee can get in, get his fake out normal gem unburden boost, and just sweep me up, or just run a reckless choice scarf set. So Hitmonlee's a problem as well. I have to watch out for. Vivillon, not really that worried. Regular Raichu, not really that worried. Venusaur can be a really good Mon against me if it's certain sets, like especially a defensive set can really cause me problems, or just an offensive set with Chlorophyll. If something on our team sets up Sun, that can also be a problem. And then lastly, Bisharp and Tyranitar can cause problems for my team if I'm not prepared for them, which I think I properly am. So anyway, I'm going to get into my team and really try and talk about what specifically about their team I'm worried about and what I am worried about facing. So first up, we have our Choice Scarf sock here. Rocking the Choice Scarf as always with Sturdy this week because the only ability on our team that Mold Breaker allows me to go around is Necrozma's Prism Armor, and I'm not running any super effective moves. I'm not running Knockoff this week, as you can see. I'm running Earthquake, Poison Jab, Ice Punch, and Close Combat. So I'm running Sturdy because worst case scenario, if it comes down to me against Mega Gardevoir, I don't think Poison Jab is enough to knock it out. So I can live one Hyper Voice, assuming, that they don't have Rocks up or something, and then get another Poison Jab kill on it, stuff like that. Noivern, Hurricane could knock me out, a Salazzle could knock me out, and so I'll be able to outspeed, get a hit off, maybe not kill them, and then live a hit and get the kill in. As you can see with this moveset, I can't touch Necrozma, so Necrozma is a big problem for me. I really have to worry about that. I'm running Earthquake instead of Knockoff because it was really either Earthquake or Knockoff when I was talking to, shoutouts to Dowsey, who also helped me team build this week. Close Combat and Ice Punch speak for themselves. You can look at their team. You know, the Tyranitar and Bisharp are weak to Close Combat. Noivern and Venusaur are weak to the Ice Punch, and Vivillon. Close Combat also hits things that are neutral to it. It can do a lot of damage to Suicune. It can do a lot, unless it's super defensive. Raichu, that kind of thing. Poison Jab is for Mega Gardevoir. That's why I have it. I don't have a lot to do with Mega Gardevoir, so I had to come in and hit it hard. And then it was either Earthquake or Knockoff. Earthquake is nice because it allows me to hit Salazzle for quad damage. If it doesn't have a sash, or if I have rocks up before it comes in, Salazzle's dead. So that's a really good thing. Rocks are going to be important for me this match because I want to make sure I break scarves or sashes, because Noivern and Salazzle are really good sash options in my opinion, as are Tyranitar and Bisharp if they're predicting like a close combat or something like that, because even with a Chople Berry, I'm getting through those. So it was either Earthquake or Knockoff. To a defensive Necrozma, I think the max it could do a knockoff was like 44%. It can do up to like 70 if it's like super offensive with no bulk. I think it does a max of actually like 64 or something like that. But that's only the first hit. And then the second hit will be significantly weaker. That max roll is with Mold Breaker, by the way, instead of Sturdy. So with Sturdy, it does even less. And so on a defensive set, I think it maxes out at like not even 30%, maybe 33. So, and then the next hit will be even lower because it won't have an item. So it wasn't really a viable option. And I'm not that worried about, like, I don't need this to knock off items. I need it to kill things. I need to come in and kill things, get a guaranteed kill. So I went with Earthquake for the guaranteed kill on Salazzle. I am running enough speed. I think I outspeed. I can actually calculate it right now. I'm not going to just talk about what it is. Times 1.5. I hit 214, which is enough. What does 214 allow me to hit? That's weird. I should have had this all thought out beforehand. Sorry. I think I was supposed to be going after... I don't know. I'm going to have to look into my speed stats. I think my stats are a little messed up right now, actually. I'm running max attack. The speed I'm going to look into. The fastest thing I need to make sure I outspeed is a Scarfed Necrozma. That's 116. So if I wanted 117 divided by 1.5, I need to hit 145. I don't understand how that happened. Don't know why. So I want to hit 145. So 212. There we go. So I'll go down to 40. Seeing a little live editing. And I'm worried about the special attacker, so we'll put the extra in there. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, that's that. I don't know why. I'm going to have to look into my speed stat there. But again, I just want to make sure I get in and kill anything I can. They do have a few Scarfers that I will. You know what? I'm probably going to redo the speed. So just ignore the speed stat. I'll talk about it when I start the match. The important thing is it's going to outspeed anything I need it to outspeed, and that's the move set. Sorry for all that. But anyway, next up we have Ironmonger, Mega Aggron. Filter is not its ability. It is. We're going to go with Sturdy. Rocking Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Iron Head, and Roar. Max special defense. The reason I'm actually running 248 because 4 points into attack didn't do anything, so I needed to run an extra 4, and 4 points out of special defense isn't a big deal. So you can see my spread here. Obviously, my defenses and everything are going to go up once I Mega Evolve. The Stealth Rock, like I said, is important for breaking sashes. Earthquake and Iron Head give me decent coverage for their team. Earthquake, again, obviously for Salazzle. Ironhead hits Mega Gardevoir. It also hits a lot of things that don't resist it, like Suicune, except for Suicune, really hard. And then I'm rocking the Roar for the Suicune in case it gets a Calm Mind up. Mega Gardevoir could set up Calm Minds. Vivillon could get some Quiver Dances up, and Roar will allow me to phase them out. Um, they have a few Calm Mind things, so that's good. I'm rocking the special defensive set on this because I actually resist most of their special attackers. I resist Psychic, resist Fairy, resist Flying, resist um, Dragon, I resist Grass, I'm immune to Poison, I resist Water, I resist Bug. I resist Electric. The only special attacker on their team that I don't resist is Salazzle. Um, Fire Blast from Salazzle can do a lot of damage to me. So that's why I needed to make sure I ran Earthquake on this set. Again, if they're not Focus Sashed, I'm going to get the kill. If it costs me Mega Aggron, that's fine because I don't have any switch-ins for Salazzle fire moves. So that's I block everything but Salazzle, so I'm just going to have to deal with it and hopefully get the kill. Again, Stealth Rock for Breaking Sashes, Roar for phasing. Next up we have Raja, our shiny Raikou with the Assault Vest, because again they have a lot of special attackers on their team, so I need a lot of bulk. I didn't want to run a more offensive item like a Life Orb or something, because I have other mons for that. I needed to make sure that I have stuff that can take special hits and still deal out massive damage, which is what Raj is here for. So I'm rocking Extra Sentry, Volt Switch, Shadow Ball, and Aura Sphere. I had a lot of fourth move syndrome with this. I kind of wanted to run HP Ice for Noivern, but I figured I'd Volt Switch. It's fine. I kind of want to switch Volt Switch for Thunderbolt, which I still might do. I've been really toying with that because I don't like having to switch, especially against things like Suicune. Like I don't have anything else to switch into, so I'd rather stay in. You know what? I'm actually gonna pull the trigger on that. I am gonna go with Thunderbolt. Anyway, so Thunderbolt is obviously for things. It hits Noivern really strong. Suicune obviously is what it's mainly there for. Extra Sentry allows me to hit things like Salazzle and Venusaur, which otherwise walls me. Shadow Ball is from the Mega Gardevoir, the Necrozma, and then Aura Sphere allows me to hit things like Bisharp and Tyranitar, which are good switch-ins to Raja otherwise. Especially Tyranitar because it gets Earthquake and stuff like that. Or Hitmonlee, but I have Extra Sentry for that. With my speed, again, it's the exact same speed that I hit with. It's going to be the same speed I hit with Sneasel, you'll see. It allows me to outspeed a timid Raichu, which is the fastest thing I can outspeed. Again, Salazzle hits 117, so it's 2 points ahead of me, so I can't outspeed it. And then I definitely can't outspeed Noivern, so timid Raichu is the fastest thing on their team that I can't get. And that's that. Next up, we have a physically defensive Tapu Fini. First time I'm bringing it with the leftovers. Rockin' Taunt, Surf, Shadow Ball, and Moonblast. Pretty much all defense, except you'll see I'm running 20 in speed. The 20 in speed is for Suicune. So I have the Taunt, which allows me to block Calm Minds on the Suicune because Suicune and I have the same base speed. At 252, Suicune hits an odd HP number, so there would be no need to run less than max HP if they were going to go for a bulky set. Which means that if they were smart, they could put 4 points into speed, thinking, if they bring a defensive Tapu Fini, I can outspeed it by 1 point. For whatever reason, they might be thinking that. So 12 points would allow me to hit 107. And if they thought I might speed creep them, they'd go up one more to 107 as well. So I went 8 more points to 108. What am I talking about? Doesn't make sense. The point is, I will, unless they really see me coming or they run a fully offensive Suicune, I will outspeed Suicune and be able to taunt it so it can't use Calm Mind. And if they bring a fully offensive Suicune without Calm Mind, fine. I'm fine with that. You want to bring a fully offensive Suicune, I can deal with that a lot easier than a Calm Mind Restock set. So I'm ready to rock with that. The taunt, it also lets me block rocks from T-Tar. In my practice matches, there was another important taunt that I got off, and I can't remember what it was on, but taunt in my practice matches proved really useful. I'm rocking Surf because there's no point running Scald, Shadow Ball again for the Mega Gardevoir, and the Moonblast just because it's a good move. It allows me to deal with things like Noivern and Hitmonlee. Looking at their team, They don't have a lot of physical attackers. They had the Hitmonlee, Bisharp, Tyranitar. Raichu can be physically offensive, but it's not as good in my opinion as a specially offensive set because Full Tackle, while it is a nuke and could destroy this, just deals so much recoil damage. Other than a physically offensive Raichu, Hitmonlee, Bisharp, and Tyranitar are walled really well by this thing. Bisharp and Hitmonlee both get Poison Jab, but I'm so bulky and it's not stab. It's not going to do a lot. I resist, or I'm neutral at least to Bisharp's steel moves, and other than that, they don't have a lot of coverage for me. So it's kind of what I'm rocking with this. This is my defensive wall for the week. Next up, we have Egret, our Life Orbed Sneasel, rocking Icicle Crest, Ice Shard, Knockoff, and Low Kick. This is another one I had 4 move slot syndrome on. I was running Poison Jab, but Poison Jab only hits Gardevoir. I was running Poison Jab instead of Icicle Crash. Icicle Crash is good. Poison Jab doesn't kill Gardevoir from my calcs that I remember, and Icicle Crash is still a 2-hit KO, so it's good enough. It allows me to deal with other things on his team. You know, Ice Shard is my only ice coverage. I mean, it's good enough for what I need. It will kill the Noivern. It does a lot of damage to Vivillon, but it's nice having that really powerful ice stab. Matches up well on his team, and or her team, sorry, and I can really punish it. So the knockoff, again, allows me to knock off items that I'm important of, and of course it's Dark Stab, and then Low Kick. There's a toss-up between Low Kick and Brick Break, and I did the calculations, and both moves are no-co on Bisharp without any defensive investment, no problem, but Brick Break has a chance of doing a low row of 97% to a T-Tar without physical investment, whereas Low Kick does 114, guaranteed OHKO, even with a little bit of a physically defensive as well, even in sand. So I went with Low Kick over that because that way I'm guaranteed the kill on both of them. Fighting Stab doesn't really, or not Fighting Stab, Fighting Coverage doesn't really do anything to any of the other mons on his team, so I don't need to worry about, maybe, Vivillon switches in and Brick Break would do more than Low Kick. Neither of them are doing anything. So I really only need the Fighting Stab for Bisharp and Tyranitar. And considering those are probably the 2 best switch-ins to Sneasel, it's a good thing to make sure that I can guarantee the kill there. And then last up, we're rocking Air Canada, the Latias. We're going offensive this week. I think last week was especially defensive, and I let it die for nothing. Rocking the Colbert Berry, Psyshock, Hidden Power Fighting, Shadow Ball, and Thunderbolt. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention with Sneasel. Sneasel has the exact same speed set as Raikou for the exact same reasons. Latias at 176 allows me to outspeed a modest Noivern. Yep, that's what I get to. I can't outspeed a Jolly Scarfed T-Tar. Kind of a problem. I'll get into that in a second. But I can outspeed a Adamant Scarfed one. So it's a good speed set for me. I'm comfortable with that speed. I could have outspeed Scarf Pelipper last week, but I wasn't. I underestimated it, so maybe I shouldn't be underestimating the possibility of a Jolly Scarfed Tyranitar, but that's neither here nor there. Psyshock, obviously for Salazzle, Hitmonlee, Venusaur. Hitmonlee has a really good special defense, all the Hitmons do, and Venusaur can be especially offensive, so that's why I'm going with Psyshock over Psychic. The Shadow Ball allows me to hit things like Mega Gardevoir, which is, again, a big problem. A lot of my mons have coverage for Mega Gardevoir because I need to just kill it. I'm rocking Thunderbolt for Suicune again, because I can't let it set up with me. Same with Vivillon, can't let it set up on me. And then I'm rocking Hidden Power Fire with the Colberry because of Bisharp and Tyranitar. I think that there's a very good chance that one of them is going to be brought. And I was torn. I was either going to bring Colberry or Habanberry. Colbert for Bisharp and Tyranitar, Haban for Noivern. So the way I thought about it was, last season I had Latias. I used a Habanberry to live a Draco from a Hydreigon and then get a Scarf Hydreigon and then kill it. Well, I was supposed to kill it with Dragon Pulse, but I got a low roll. Forgot about that. They could have bulk. Should have run Draco Meteor. But the point was, Habanberry allows me to live a Draco from the Noivern and then get the revenge kill. Or not the revenge kill, but just kill it with my own dragon move. You can see I'm not running a dragon move because I'm not worried about Noivern. Psyshock does enough to it, it's frail enough. Which is why I'm not running Dragon Stab, and then also they have Gardevoir. So that's one thought. But I have Tapu Fini on this team, and I have Mega Aggron. My two defensive walls both resist. Well, one resists, one's immune to its dragon coverage. So I have switch-ins for that. But Bisharp and Tyranitar can run Pursuit, and I can't switch out from Pursuit. That will only make it stronger. And Bisharp gets Sucker Punch, which if I stay in, I can't. I will OHKO me. So there's all these mind games around her two dark types, and I can't switch against them, and they are the best switch-ins for Latias, so they can kill me. So I decided to go with Colbur Berry and HP Fighting. Both of their dark types are 4 times weak to rocks, or to fighting, sorry. So I'll probably outspeed, unless Bisharp goes for Sucker Punch, or if it's a Scarf Jolly Tyranitar, but I'll probably outspeed and be able to use HP Fighting to get a massive kill off. If Tyranitar sets up Sand, which is what Tyranitar does, it maxes out at like 56 or something. I think it's like 48 to 56 is the range. If I could be wrong, off the top of my head, but it's something like that because of the Sand boost. So in that instance, I get an HP Fire. It uses a Dark type on me like Crunch, or if Bisharp's in, it goes for the Sucker Punch. Colbur Berry goes off. I live the hit, and then I get the kill on either of them with my HP Fighting the next turn. So I can kill Bisharp first turn, or I can kill Tyranitar second turn with the HP Fighting Colbur Berry combo. The one thing to note, to remember, is that Bisharp gets Defiant. And in my practice matches, it was Tapu Fini versus Bisharp. I was using Moonblast because it's neutral damage stab, and I got the special attack drop on it, and Bisharp went to +2, and then my Colbur Berry didn't matter, and it OHKO'd me anyway with Sucker Punch. So I'm going to have to be wary about which moves I go to, especially if Bisharp comes, and especially if Bisharp's in, because I cannot let it get that Defiant boost, or all of my plans go out the window from dealing with Bisharp. So that is the team. I feel like I was rambling. Maybe that didn't make a bunch of sense, but I hope you guys can kind of see what I'm trying to plan here. Again, they have a lot of really big wall breakers that I just don't have good switch-ins for, so I'm going to have to play smart. I may have to sack things like my Spadef wall, Mega Aggron. If they leave with Salazzle, I'm just going to have to let it die. I'm going to have to go for the Earthquake turn 1. I'm going to have to deal with no rocks, but I'm going to have to make that choice and then come in with Sneasel and get the kill afterwards. The Ice Shard and stuff like that, I'm gonna have to play fast and loose. If I do win this match, it's gonna be a low differential, unless I can make some godly predictions. But anyway, that's my team. Let's hope I can win this week so that I don't fall to 0-2, and I'll see you guys on game day. Bye.